Welcome to All You Need to Know for tonight's Friday Night Smackdown on November 6, 2020. Now, this will be at the Thunderdome. And now, before I get into it, I just want to say there was top 3 developments from last week. And I will just go ahead and talk about that real quick, and then we get on in what's happening tonight. Now, we got Bayley challenging Sasha Banks to a match for the Women's Championship, citing her ability to successfully defend a newly won title. Then we got Mysterio admitting to her father that Ray and brother Dominic that she loved Murphy and kissing him in front of them. Earlier, Murphy tried to apologize for Ray and Dominic, but Seth Rollins got involved. And then we had another segment where Jey Uso qualifies for Team Survivor Series by defeating Daniel Bryan with his cousin, Universal Champion Roman Reigns, looking on. After the match, he told his cousin that he was with him, and he said, I quote, he said, I understand now about 100 times while beating down Bryan. Jey Uso is apparently joined forces with Roman Reigns. Now, on their website, WWE is saying that Bryan is resting at home because of the injuries suffered at the hands of Jey Uso. So that was that. We'll get into more about last week at the end of the video. But here is our things advertised by WWE. We move towards Survivor Series as teams starting to fill out. This past Monday, Braun Strowman joined Team Raw while Jey Uso and Kevin Owens qualified for Team SmackDown on the men's side. Bianca Belair qualifies for the women's SmackDown team by defeating Natayla and Billie Kay last week. All the champions versus champions are announced, and therefore we have to wait for the remainder of the men's and the women's team to fill out. Here's what's advertised by WWE for tonight. We have Sasha Banks to battle Bayley in the SmackDown's Women's Champion rematch, as I already mentioned it. The heated rivalry in the wake of her epic Hell in a Cell match against Bayley, the boss. Now, less than two weeks after capturing her first SmackDown Women's Championship, Sasha Banks must put her title on the line against Bayley. The woman she took the title from at Hell in a Cell. As I mentioned earlier, Bayley issued to challenge Sasha due to her inability to successfully defend the championship. Now, we talking about when Sasha Banks won Raw's Women's Championship 3 times from July, October of 2016. Once in a Hell in a Cell match against Charlotte Flair at Hell in a Cell 2016, but she lost it back to Charlotte each time. She defeated Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam 2017, but she lost it back to Alexa Bliss 8 days later on Raw. Finally, she defeated Asuka on Raw this year, only to lose the title back to her at SummerSlam. That's 5 reigns for no successful title defense. As Sasha Banks rolls on to reign number 6, we will find out if Bayley will continue to add Sasha's misfortunes as she challenges her for the title tonight. Now, my opinion is on this, my whole opinion is on this, is that it's so hard to know what they want to do since they having a rematch so soon. In theory, I expect a wonky finisher, a cheap finisher, but it's hard to say because of the history of her championship reigns. Now, of her championship reigns, so Sasha is not retaining. One thing for sure is that if Sasha Banks retains due to a crappy finisher such as DQ or a countout or something similar to that effect, then it trashes the whole story. She should win for the first time via to a clean pin or submission, but that's just my take. Now, I will get into the other match results and segments from last week at the end of the video. So we have another match confirmed for tonight's show. We have Otis versus Seth Rollins. They go head to head. Now we know, no doubt, that Otis has been having a couple weeks, a rough couple weeks. He lost Mandy Rose to Monday Night Raw. He lost the Money in the Bank. And he lost the Money in the Bank briefcase to the Miz. Then he lost his best friend, who then turned on him. So we don't know what would happen, but we do know, on the other hand, we got the Smackdown Savior, who has looked forward to a new path and lead the Blue brand to a greatness, bringing forward chaos to the Mysterio family in the process. Can Otis change his luck in the Survivor Series qualifying match, or will Rollins walk away in Battle of the Best, determined he is the best of the best? Now, I just want to say they should at least have Otis Otis on Team Smackdown and Tucker on Team Raw so they can further their feud. But I don't know what they gonna do since they on different brands. Now, speaking of furthering their feud, we have Rey Mysterio versus King Corbin. And Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins is already in a feud. Now, Rey Mysterio and King Corbin is also in the Survivor Series qualifying match. When we talking about SmackDown, we know it would be an honor for Rey Mysterio to qualify for the Blues brand men's Survivor Series team. Standing in his way, however, would be the always dangerous King Corbin, who has shown time and again that he will stop at nothing to achieve victory. But who has what it takes to represent SmackDown against Raw at Survivor Series? Now, my prediction for this match, I would say Rey Mysterio should win this. I think he will win this because this is just me. I think this is something new and fresh. And we've seen King Corbin in plenty of matches, but it hasn't really got him nowhere. They really haven't rewarded him for being in top quality matches like these. So I'm guessing we're going to have Rey Mysterio on the team, and we're going to have Seth Rollins on Team SmackDown as well, because they going to, brawl out doing the Survivor Series qualifying match. And I think that was all qualified for tonight. We also got Carmella having her debut match. Well, it's not really a debut match, but she took some time off and she been giving out these teasers about a new gimmick and whatever. So basically, she will be having a debut match, and I don't know who it will be against. Probably Billy Kay, probably I honestly don't know who's all on the Women's SmackDown team. Natayla, but those already been in the qualifying match, so maybe somebody like Zelina Vega, and they probably just gonna assume. I assume that I think they just gonna put her on the qualifying SmackDown's Women's match. But we also have a couple other things y'all should look out for. Shorty G changed his name back to Chad Gable, so maybe they would say something about that. So before I head out, I'm going to continue with the other matches, results, and segments from last week. We got Kevin Owens qualifying for the Team SmackDown Survivor Series by defeating Dolph Ziggler in the qualifying match. So we got an interview with Corey Graves. Lars Sullivan spoke about him being called the Freak and got emotional at one point. We know Bianca Belair has defeated Natayla and Billy Kay in the triple threat match to qualify us for the Women's Survivor team for SmackDown. We got the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn hyping his matchup with the U.S. Champion Bobby Lashley at Survivor Series. He said he represents many countries while Bobby only represents one country. Then we got the SmackDown Tag Team Champion, the Street Profits, going against the former champions, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, I don't know what they doing with Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, But hopefully they do something with them, maybe split them up. But they good for each other. I mean, I just don't know what they're gonna do. So that is all I have for this video. Hopefully this video help you guys be more prepared for tonight's show. And as I get out of here, I just want you guys to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Comment if you want to see me do more of these, and subscribe if you haven't already. And also be sure to go follow my Instagram, Wrestling Empire 12. I repeat, Wrestling Empire 12. Yes. So thank you guys for everything. All right.